what's going on everyone? War Brothers Collectibles here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be episode 3 of what I've watched and read recently. This is just everything that I've watched over the past week, 2 weeks or so, and there's some things that I don't have on physical media but I've been watching on streaming platforms such as Disney+. So let's get into today's video. So first off, I've been in kind of a Highlander mood after getting the Highlander on 4K. So I decided to give Highlander 3 The Sorcerer another watch, or also known as Highlander The Final Dimension. One of my favourite films. I love the Highlander series, and out of all the sequels, Highlander 3 is certainly my favourite. It's kind of rare to get in the UK now. You can only buy it from like second-hand shops, as I've done here many years ago for £3.50. It's never had a Blu-ray release, or certainly not a 4K release or anything like that, so it's kind of rare to actually get this on any physical media anymore, and even more rare I think to find on streaming services. In terms of the story, it is pretty much a carbon copy of the original Highlander, because Highlander originally, the original film ends so well, you pretty much can't do a sequel, but somehow they managed to do it just by, he never won the prize. Someone else was been hidden in a cave for 400 years, another immortal that he's got to battle. So the story is kind of cheesy and cheap the way they get around it, but I do enjoy this film nonetheless. Pretty much the first movie done again, as I say, but good sword fights, good action sequences, and I love the training montage when he's forging the sword in the Highlands of Scotland, when he returns to his roots to gain some strength to battle Cain, the last immortal to get the prize. And I think it ends well. It wraps up the story, and yeah, it's a quick film, 90 minutes. It's over before you know it. Nice, easy watch. And yeah, I enjoy Highlander 3 a lot. I've watched it many times over the years. I certainly enjoy it, of course, more than Highlander 2 and Endgame. I've never actually sat down and watched the TV show. I did watch the pilot and maybe an episode or two after that, but I couldn't get into it. But in terms of Highlander, I do enjoy Highlander 1 and 3. So I enjoyed this film and I rewatched it a few days ago. And then we are still working on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is just our DVD box set. And we've just recently started season 6, which is really exciting. It's kind of different. Some dramatic things have happened. I won't spoil it on this video, but yeah, so we're slowly working our way through Buffy. We're on season 6, still really enjoying it. We are watching Angel as well, coinciding with this show, but it's incredibly difficult to actually watch them like one Angel, one Buffy, one Angel, one Buffy, because you get so tied up in stories. And we always tend to keep watching Buffy more than Angel. We're coming towards the end of season 2 of Angel, and we're trying to keep them in sync, but it's virtually impossible to do so for us because we're just Buffy. But Angel is also a good show, much darker in tone and themes. It's dark, it's moody, it's violent. We are enjoying Angel, nearly finished season 2, and we're going to continue to watch that. And then since we've watched all the Spiderman movies, we decided we wanted to go back and start the Marvel MCU films from the beginning. Now we've decided to watch them in timeline order of the films, excluding all the TV shows because there's just far too much. I don't actually have these on physical media anymore, but we have watched Captain America, The First Avenger. Enjoyed it a lot. I've only seen it a handful of times, not seen it for many years. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was action-packed throughout, great story, and it was a good start to the series. And then we watched Captain Marvel, which again I really enjoyed. I saw that in the cinema back in the day when it came out, but I had no desire to go back and rewatch it up until this point where we're watching them all in timeline order. And I really enjoyed it. I know it's got a controversy around it, around Brie Larson, and I've never actually seen her sequel film, The Marvels. But Captain Marvel, early Nick Fury's career, I really enjoyed it. And then we have watched Iron Man, the first Iron Man film, and I really enjoyed that as well. The next one we've got to watch is Iron Man 2, but as I'm making this video, I haven't sat down and watched Iron Man 2 yet. But I really enjoyed the first Iron Man. I have not seen it again for a long time. I've seen all the Marvel movies, but it's not a series that I've returned to much over the years. But so far, I'm really enjoying the films. Since I'm like kind of in a Spider-Man phase right now in my life, I decided to go back and start the Spider-Man 19 series. Now, these are just the DVDs that I have of the series, but I am actually watching the full series, on Disney Plus. This is just Spider-Man, the Ultimate Villain Showdown. These DVDs just feature episodes of the 90s cartoon show. I used to watch these all the time as a child. This is the whole Goblin saga, the Goblin Wars, and things like that. But then this is one of my favourites, the Venom saga. It's basically the alien costume parts 1 to 3, I think, and all Venom and Carnage episodes, which is pretty awesome. They were always my favourite episodes of the series, but I'm actually watching them all on Disney Plus, starting from season 1. Some of my favourite episodes I did used to have on DVD, but the disc actually cracked and it would no longer play. On DVD it was known as Spider-Man versus Daredevil, but it was essentially just episodes from the show when Peter Parker is framed and Spider-Man teams up with Daredevil in order to clear Peter Parker's name. They're some of my favourite episodes because it's really like Daredevil comes into it and he battles with Kingpin, and they were some of my favourite episodes of the show, but these are just some of the ones I actually have on physical media. But I'm really enjoying the Spider-Man series. I think it's one of the best superhero animated cartoons ever made. You know, it's way up there with Batman the Animated Series and X-Men. I don't think any other Spider-Man cartoon since the 90s show has ever been the same. You know, the 90s show is just absolutely awesome and I'm enjoying it a lot. So that's Spider-Man the Animated Series. And then I'm a big Halloween fan, as you guys know on this channel. I love the Halloween franchise. Last night we just wanted something chilled out, something a quick watch, and I suggested one of the Halloween films. So we decided on Halloween Resurrection. Now, I actually like this movie. I know I'm a minority on this. It is regarded as one of the worst, if not the worst, in the entire series. And yeah, the comedic moments are silly and sometimes it just doesn't work and it's unnecessary in my opinion. You know, I just don't like Busta Rhymes in the film anyway, but I don't like him, you know, using Kung Fu on Michael Myers and kicking him out the window. I think that's just too far with the silliness. But the whole idea of the reality TV show and all the camera headsets and people watching it live on the internet is a cool concept. You know, I can't deny that. I'm really was always intrigued by that idea. And it's just a shame that Mustafa Akkad passed away after this film, and then they decided to reboot the series with Rob Zombie. So this is actually the end of the original run of Halloween movies. Shame it had to end like this, I suppose. But I don't have a problem with this movie. I enjoy it thoroughly. Again, it's not one that I return to that often. I much prefer 4, 5, and 6, or the original films. I even like the Blumhouse trilogy that they've done. But this film, I just give it another chance, guys. It's really not as bad. Even if you think of it as a comedy and find it entertaining, although that's not the idea for a Halloween movie. You know, if you just find it entertaining for all the wrong reasons, maybe, then just give this film another chance. Like, I don't really, honestly, I don't think it's that bad of a watch. I know I'm a minority on this and I'm going to get hate for it. But Halloween Resurrection, yeah, it has its problems, of course, but the concept of the story is cool. Just some of the casting is not good in my opinion. Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes, I think, are not suited for this film, but maybe that's just me, I don't know. But yeah, Halloween Resurrection, I really don't have an issue with. And then today I just picked up The Amazing Spider-Man: A New Adventure Begins. So they're basically starting off another storyline, I suppose. I did have to actually read the backstory to catch up on things, and I've actually just finished this morning, and it's getting me back into reading Spider-Man comics, and I cannot wait for the Terror of Tombstone. I did used to have loads of these comics back in the day. I used to collect them every single month, but I actually gave them away to a family member. So while I'm in the Spider-Man mood, I decided, why not try some Marvel Spider-Man comics and see how I got on with them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this as my first dip back into Spider-Man Marvel comics, and I'm going to continue the adventure and see where it leads. So that's going to be it, guys, for this episode on what I've watched and read recently. This has been episode 3. Massive selection of things that I've watched here, guys. Again, some of them I don't have on physical media. I've been watching them on streaming services. Netflix or Disney Plus. If you like this video, guys, and you want to see more like it, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you soon in the next video. Take care.